age of ancients, the world was unformed, shrouded by fog. A land of grey crags, arch trees, and everlasting dragons. But then there was fire, and with fire came disparity. Heat and cold, life and death, and of course, light and dark. Then from the dark they came and found the souls of lords within the flame. Nito, the first of the dead. The Witch of Izalith and her daughters of Chaos. Gwyn, the Lord of Sunlight, and his faithful knights. And the furtive pygmy, so easily forgotten. With the strength of lords, they challenged the dragons. Gwyn's mighty bolts peeled apart their stone skins. The witches weaved great firestorms. Nito unleashed a miasma of death and disease. And Seath the Scaleless betrayed his own, and the dragons were no more. Thus began the Age of Fire. But soon the flames will fade, and only dark will remain. Even now, there are only embers, and man sees not light, but only endless nights. And amongst the living are seen carriers of the accursed dark sign. Yes, indeed. The dark sign brands the undead. And in this land, the undead are corralled and led to the north. Where they are locked away to await the end of the world. This is your fate.
And with that, hello everyone, and welcome to Let's Play Dark Souls. So, I have beaten this game, so this is not a blind run. I'm sorry if you were looking for one, but they don't really do this game justice. At least I don't enjoy them personally. So right now, we're starting off right here in the Undead Asylum, the first pass. I'm going to skip all the messages. They're basically tutorializing the controls, at least some of the basic ones. What I will say is that I'm going to be playing a dex-based miracle and fighter character. I will be probably joining the Covenant or the Sun Bros, the Blade of the Sun, I think. And I'm going to breeze through the Undead Asylum and probably Undeadburg as well in the first episode, and we'll get on from there. I'm gonna pop open this door, and if you're watching this as a guide, well, enjoy. I've selected the Master Key as my character perk, and I chose the Thief class as my starting class because it offers the most dexterity and faith out of all of the starting builds. Let's rest here in case we die. We shouldn't though. And head on up here, grab the Targe shield, and go ahead and change equipment. And let's look at its status. Physical defense, 77%. Okay. Doesn't mitigate 100%. But that's not the point here, because I can just quite literally run around, grab myself the bandit's knife, and head up here and kill this undead archer. Let's start off with a backstab. Now this does mean I am going to have to wait a little bit before I get my miracle casting. There is one talisman that I'm aware of, but it's slightly difficult to get, involving me going to Undead Parish. Alright, let's trigger that, come back here.
Oh, you. You're no hollow. Thank goodness. I'm done for, I'm afraid. I'll die soon, then lose my sanity. I wish to ask something of you. You and I are both undead. Hear me out, will you?
Yes, I will hear you out.
Regrettably, I have failed in my mission. But perhaps you can keep the torch lit. There is an old saying in my family. Thou who art undead art chosen. In thine exodus from the undead asylum, maketh pilgrimage to the land of ancient lords. When thou ringeth the bell of awakening, the fate of the undead thou shalt know. Well, now you know. And I can die with hope in my heart. Oh, one more thing. Here, take this. An Estus flask. An undead favorite. Oh, and this. Now I must bid farewell. I would hate to harm you after death. So go now. And thank you.
So right here we're introduced to the plot. We have to basically fulfill this guy's mission, which was something about ringing a bell of awakening. So we'll get into that a bit more in a second here. Let's use Undead Asylum East key, or whatever that key actually was. Head up here. And now this game is pretty much billed as sort of a, action slasher beat 'em up, but there is a little bit more to it. You do have to spend some amount of time, figuring everything out. Like, if you don't have a 100% block shield, attacks hurt. They hurt a lot, because there's still percentage damage that you take. Oh, and what do you have? You have a short bow. Good. I'm going to need one of those for my playthrough. I'm going to come through here, and this guy down here is our first boss. So we're going to drop down and stab him. And take a stupid hit. Now, we have two very important green bars. We have our health bar and our stamina bar. Health bar determines how much health we have, simple enough. Stamina bar determines how much actions we can take, or what types of actions we can take without, you know, basically doing or giving up resources. In order to block, you must have stamina. If you don't, you end up taking damage instead. You can still take damage, but if you run out of stamina and you block, you basically get a stun hit, and it can spell your death. This game is all about being careful. A lot of people bill it as a hard game, but it's not exactly hard, it's just different. It requires you to pay attention and know what you're doing, and have complete and utter confidence in what you're doing, or in your skills. So let's head through here. Now, as we get along, there are going to be a few more interesting mechanics, but basically we have light attack, heavy attack, shield block, shield swing, kick, lunging heavy attack, and that's about it. We have run, and we have jump as well. All of these are kind of needed. You can play through the game without ever parrying, I believe also without ever blocking, and there's combat roll. So, it's been about 12 minutes since I started, and here we go.
Only in the ancient legends it is stated that one day an undead shall be chosen. To leave the undead asylum in pilgrimage to the land of the ancient lords. Lordran.
And here we are in Firelink Shrine. So, we have been introduced to our... what are you? Bonfire. And there's a guy over here. Let's talk to him.
Well, what do we have here? You must be a new arrival. Let me guess. Fate of the undead, right? Well, you're not the first. But there's no salvation here. You'd have done better to rot in the undead asylum. But too late now. Well, since you're here, let me help you out. There are, actually, two bells of awakening. One's up above in the undead church. The other is far, far below, in the ruins at the base of Blight Town. Ring them both, and something happened. Brilliant, right? Not much to go on, but I have a feeling that won't stop you. So, off you go. It is why you came, isn't it? To this accursed land, the undead?
Okay, so he's given us a helpful thing. There are two bells of awakening. Let's come down here. And we're going to pick up something that I normally pick up at the beginning of every Dex-based character. Now, this does involve, having a lot of pre-knowledge, and some people might say that, knowing where all these things are and, knowing about all the surprises is going to ruin the experience. I don't think it does. You can still enjoy the game. Ooh, Bloodstain, how did you die? Let's see. Let's follow this Bloodstain and see how he died. Oh, that's hilarious. Okay. But basically, you can enjoy the game without, or with knowing all of this? I don't know, like, to me, just the pointless, like, constant death for no real purpose doesn't make sense to me and isn't enjoyable. There are some things that, you know, do kind of cheapen the experience, but, I mean, hey, each person plays the game the way they want to play. Alright, so we've picked up an S-Stock, so let's toggle display. And this requires me to have Strength 10, which I do not have at the moment, but it does technically more damage until I can, but it will only do so when I can actually wield it efficiently with the 10 Strength. So let's quick poke around, kill some of these guys, and I'm going to head back up, because there's a whole bunch of stuff in the first area, Firelink Shrine, that's exceptionally useful to a starting player when we're starting a character. And I do plan on picking up fewer things from... I plan on picking up everything that easily accessible that doesn't involve me going to the graveyard before I head off to the Undead Church, or Undead Burg to the Undead Parish. So let's go ahead, head back up here. First things first, over here, 3 humanity. I said 3 humanity. Let's see. And humanity is used to turn yourself into human, which allows you to summon other players, I believe invade other players, and a few other things. It's useful, but not really required. You don't ever have to go human. Fire bombs, throwable item, consumed on use, but deals fire damage and a splash. Alright, let's see. You.
Hello there. I believe we are not acquainted. I am Petrus of Thurland. Have you business with us? If not, I'd prefer to keep a distance, if possible.
Okay. He's kind of dirk, but whatever. I mean, we are technically undead, although I suppose so is he. There's something back there, but that's not useful at the moment. Lost soul of an undead. And let's drop in over here. Lost soul of an undead, and there's 1 or 2 more things, but I think I've gotten everything I need and or want. So let's pop the lost souls. These are consumed to give us souls, and souls are the currency and experience points of the game. So you can see down at the bottom right, there's a counter that says 730, and now it says 1530. That's my total experience and currency. So if I wanted to buy something, I would have to pay for it using souls. Now let's quick level up my strength 1, so I can equip my S-Stock. And now we have a weapon that's going to deal more damage. But it's got a different attack type. It's got thrusting. Actually, is that the same attack type as... / regular thrust? Okay, it is a different attack type than the dagger. So let's come up here and we encounter our first real enemies. Which I'm going to backstab him. He's going to hop down from up there. A lot of people would just rush in towards that first one they saw, but I know better. And I'm assuming a few of you who have seen this before also know better. Hollow Warrior Waistcloth, it's not useful. And there's a guy up there chucking fire bombs. And fire does fire damage, which is not mitigated with physical defense, it's mitigated with fire defense. So, let's see if I can... No, I want to kick you... Oh right, I don't have a kick with this. But you can see his body falling down, and you can cause enemies, and yourself if you're unfortunate, to fall to your death. So it's very slowly and very carefully head up here. Roll. This guy's got an axe. Let's stab him in the back. And as you can see, in a backstab, you have invulnerability frames. The entire time you are completely and totally invulnerable. And let's show off another slightly Let's bring him down here. And we're going to show off another slightly more advanced technique, if I can get it right. Oh, that's not an attack that I can do that on. Alright, so that ping noise you heard was successful countering. So when an enemy attacks, there's a period of time where you can hit the left trigger, if you're using a 360 controller, or it's L2 if you're using a PS3 controller, or whatever you happen to be using. And in that time, if you do it correctly, you'll hear that noise, the enemy will be staggered, and if you hit right bumper or R1, the enemy, or you will perform a counterattack from a parry. It's called a riposte, I think. And in doing so, you will do a large amount of damage, and basically it's just, if you do it right, it's a free hit that does absurd amounts of damage on par with, you know, on par with actually backstabbing them, which is another special attack. I screwed up that parry. But in order to backstab, you have to have your shield and guard down, as well as with parrying, because you have to hit the bumper or the trigger attack to do it correctly. So I'm going to come down here, grab this, large soul of the nameless undead, and right here we've got a few interesting guys. Okay. And is it back that way? I want to say it's back that way, but while I'm down here, may as well head this way. And you can attack some enemies while they're waiting in ambush for you, and send them hurtling to their death. Let's grab this rubbish, because I can use it for something. And climb up the ladder. So I do have to say, this is one of my favorite games that's come out in the past 10 years. Not saying a lot. There have been a few good releases. Let me rephrase that, actually. It's my favorite game developed by a AAA company that's come out in a long time. There have been a lot of good games, a lot of fun games. Torchlight 2, a lot of fun. Minecraft, a lot of fun. Terraria, a lot of fun. But a lot of them are indie games. This is the first one to come out by, I want to say it's Namco Bandai and From Software, that, you know, has had a big name like that I've really, truly enjoyed. I've enjoyed a few other ones, like Persona 3 and 4, but, like, this is the first one that's just come to the PC that's been really good. Oh, and there we go, there's another fog wall, the true boss of Dark Souls. Fog walls. That one is a one-time only fog wall, which means that every time I come through this way, I will never have to deal with it again. And here we go, dragon. Drake, technically. And the interesting zone. Alright, so you're going to come up here. There's a crossbowman shooting at us. I'm going to backstab to grab invulnerability frames. So you can abuse invulnerability frames to take less damage. I'm going to come through here quick. I'm going to grab a wooden shield. Let's check. Are you better? You are better in every respect except for fire resistance, so I will equip you for now. It's 93% physical resistance, which means that only 7% of the damage of an attack will come through to me. And let's come here, and I'm going to pop 2 humanity. And what does this do? Well, this means that I'm about to be able to become human. So I'm going to light this bonfire and rest at it. Bonfire lit. Kindle. Oop. Reverse hollowing. And this is going to make me look more human and less undead. There we go. You can see that with my face. And let's kindle. Now, what does kindling do? kindling allows me to get 10 Estus. Normally, when you light a bonfire, you only return 5. So, it's a huge buff. It's 10 healings. And, as you can see here with this white sign, oh, you jerk. It allows me to summon. Now, I'm not going to be summoning. There's no reason for me to summon during this first part. However, I'm going to come down here. I'm actually not going to get as much done as I thought, because there's a lot more dialogue than I remember. I'm going to chuck Firebomb at him. It's going to do 126 points of damage. I'm going to throw Firebomb at him. His shield was up. And we're going to enter the dance. Now, what is the dance? The dance is me running around trying to get a spot for me to stab him. And apparently that was not my Estus flask. But there is one very important thing that I'm going to get done this episode. That is, I'm going to walk over here. You're going to do that to me. Okay, fine. I won't be fancy. I'm gonna chug an Estus, or Sunny D, depending on who you ask. Kinda looks like Sunny D. We're gonna talk.
Well now, you seem to have your wits about you. Then you are a welcome customer. I trade for souls. Everything's for sale.
Okay, do you have anything that I need to buy? Toggle display, yes, I need to buy a shield. And that horrible noise you just heard means that I've been invaded. Oh boy. Really, Dick? Really? Oh. You. So, this is another player who has actively invaded my game. Oh, my Northern Lion instincts are taking over, damn it! Has invaded my game with the sole purpose of attempting to kill me. They are a red phantom, which means that really is all they're trying to do. Oh, and they're twinked. More than likely. And they operate on any of the or all of the rules of other mobs. Don't get cocky. You do not get cocky. Aw, you managed to get away from that chain backstab. Nope. You made a mistake. I know all of your tricks. Yeah, you want to poison me? That's fine. Ah, you toxic me. Now, there is a good chance I'm going to die here, because Toxic does a crap load of damage. And because I missed a block. Yep, there we go. I died. So, they had the sole purpose of killing me. Really? You had that the entire time? But, they had the sole purpose of killing me. Which means that I have now died, I have lost my humanity, and I've lost all souls I have acquired. Now, this isn't that detrimental, because, as I'm about to demonstrate, I can come back and reclaim them. Now, you have to be human to be invaded. So, I mean, going human does make you a bullseye. However, if you die, you leave behind a soul patch, and that allows you to come and reclaim it, or reclaim your souls. It's a bloodstain in many, or it's called a bloodstain technically, and I might be doing some invasions, but generally I don't like it. You do have to be online. You have to be on Games for Windows Live, Xbox Live, or PSN. I guess it is. Now, I'm going to do something some people might not agree with. I'm going to kill the undead merchant. Now, he's talking about Yulia. Yulia is that name of, or his name for that weapon he's swinging. Because I wanted little Yulia. Yulia is the name for his Uchigatana. And requires 14 strength. That's what I thought. So I'm gonna quick pop the souls of the dead. Or lost souls of the undead. Soul of a lost undead. Names. We're gonna go level up, and I'm gonna go be able to equip this. And then I'm gonna end this episode. So I should have enough souls, because I've got to level it up 4 times. Okay. But I'm not currently undead, which means that I can't be invaded. Or human. Can't be invaded because I'm human. Level up. Strength, bring you up to 13. Alright, I need 400 more souls. Well, I can very quickly kill all of these guys again. And every time you rest at a bonfire, every enemy in an area, with a few exceptions, there's 1 or 2 that won't respawn, that are basically considered like unique enemies or something like that. But all enemies will respawn. Okay, come on. Come on. Come over here. I can just chuck the bomb at you. And I want to hope that he gave me a spear, because spears are cool items. Yep, he did. Okay, so we've got enough souls to level up. So let's quick do that. And rest a bonfire, level up. Strength. Okay. So now we can equip my Uchigatana. Actually, I'm going to equip that here. This is a really cool weapon. And now we have a kick, which I will demonstrate in a second. Okay, so with that, I'm going to end this episode here. I'm going to quick kill this guy. And this will be the first episode, and the ending of the first episode of Let's Play Dark Souls. So I will see you guys next time.